Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in to another Mommy Diaries video. So what I want to speak about today is breastfeeding, and I look at the benefits of breastfeeding to mommy and baby. I'll look at some breastfeeding positions. If time allows, I'll also speak about factors that leads to some mothers producing a small supply of milk and in some instances no milk at all. I'll also share my journey on breastfeeding with you and just share some tricks and tips that I've picked up along the way while breastfeeding. Before I get into the discussion, I just want to say that breastfeeding at the end of the day comes down to the mother, and it is mommy's choice and decision whether or not she wants to breastfeed. It is her prerogative, and mummies get no judgments here, because I know the process, it can be difficult, and it is just up to you, mommy. So breast milk comes in three forms. There's colostrum, which is the first milk, and transitional milk, and mature or fatty milk. So the colostrum is very important for baby because it provides antibodies which are transferred from mommy to baby to assist with the baby's immunity. So as you know, babies are not born with any immunity at all. So it's important that they get these antibodies to assist with the development of their immune system and to aid with fighting off any diseases, infections, or sicknesses that they will come across while they're outside of the womb. A lot of people will also tell you that the first milk, colostrum, is brain food for the baby because it assists with the early development of the baby, right? It also lessens the risk of diabetes in babies. And because breast milk is easier to digest than formula, it lessens the chance of the baby getting diarrhea, having reflux, getting constipated, and having gas. We know gas is natural, but it lessens the chance of them being really, really gassy. The benefits for mommy are it assists with weight loss. So a lot of the mothers who thinking about getting the snapback body and losing the baby fat after birth, breastfeeding feeding is one solution to that issue. So what happens is while you're breastfeeding, there is a hormone that is released called oxytocin. This hormone assists with the reduction of the uterus. It helps the uterus to go back to its normal size over a shorter period of time, right? Another benefit is it assists with lessening the chance of ovarian and breast cancer. So for my baby girl, she wasn't really latching onto the breast after birth, and because of this, we ended up spending 24 hours in the hospital where they decided to observe her. She finally took some formula, and so we were discharged from the hospital. So my baby ended up being mixed fed because I was persistent in trying to get her to latch onto the breast, where on every feed, before giving her the bottle, I'll try to give her the breast. And if it was a good day and she decided to take it, she'll probably do 10 minutes or so, but then she'd spit it out and want nothing to do with it. Now I remember feeling really disheartened and thinking to myself, why she don't want the breast? It's just something that is meant to be so natural between mommy and baby. I'm already not getting right. And my mommy reminded me that, remember, you didn't take breast either, so it's no big deal. But I wanted her to get breast milk, so I kept trying and trying and trying. And I even thought to myself that wonder if it's the positioning that is not right. So I ended up researching some different breastfeeding positions, and I came across about 11 of them, right? I'll put them in the description so you guys can go ahead to your own reading and watch videos on different positioning to breastfeeding. So one of the most common breastfeeding position is called the cradle or cross-cradle position. And what I'll do is I'll use my cushion to demonstrate. So the cradle or cross-cradle is where the baby is held across the hand like that, tummy to tummy, The ears, shoulder, and the back must be in a straight line, and the baby's chin must be to the breast, and the nipple must be touching the nose. This also assists with getting a good or perfect latch. Now, latching is very important, and that's something I'll speak about after I go through the positions. The next position that I practice is the football or rugby hold, which the baby is placed to the side. You can use a cushion to support the baby's back, and you support the head, but you don't hold it to direct it to the breast. Let the baby do all of that movement. They should have free movement with the head to move the head back and forth to come to the breast and latch properly. The next position that I practice is the sideline position, where mommy's laying on the side, baby's also laying on the side, and there's some amount of skin contact, and you proceed with feeding. Now, for me, when I finally got baby girl latching on, I experienced a bit of discomfort, and I remember calling up my mommy and asking her if breastfeeding is supposed to hurt, and she was like, no, you might feel a bit of discomfort when the baby just latch on, but it's not supposed to hurt throughout. Now, based on that, now I realize that the latching is very important, and there's a few things that you should look out for to know if the baby is properly latched. So if the cheek has a puffy look, it means that the baby has a good amount of breast to include the areola and nipple in the mouth, which that gives a perfect latch, and the cheek look puffy, and it allows them to comfortably swallow while they're feeding. Now, if the baby is feeding from the breast and the cheek is going in like this, they don't have a proper latch, and as a result of that, you may feel pain around the areola, and it will also affect the milk duct around the breast as well. So it's very important that the baby is latching properly. Baby should come to the breast chin first, so the chin touching the breast, and you don't usually look for this, but the top part of the areola, you should see that is the darker part of the nipple. You should see most of the areola at the top of the breast. These are some of the things that you look out for to know if the baby has latched on properly. Now, I remember, I think is that one of the midwives said to me that I should ensure that the baby is not extremely hungry whenever I try to put her onto the breast. So what I then try to look out for is when she making gestures to indicate that she's hungry. So sometimes you'll hear her lying in the cot and you'll hear this sound where she's suckling. You know that she's getting to that point where she's hungry. Or you'll see her sucking on the back of her hand, or in the inside, in some cases when they're in your hand, you see them searching for the breast with the nose. Either they're sniffing and the head bobbing back and forth like that, or they're genuinely going and like they grip opening the mouth and going towards the area where the breast is. These are some indicators that yes, baby's hungry. Feed. You don't want them to get to the point where they're bawling and screaming, because then they'll go directly for the nipple, and that will result in a lot of pain. Trust me, I've been there. So these are just some of the things that I've learned to look out for, and to just get to feeding baby before baby starts crying and wailing. Yes. No. So when she decided that she wanted to take the breast, I didn't have a lot of milk to give to her, and this of course was a newfound problem for me. So I decided that I need to find out why I'm not producing enough milk. I remember that during pregnancy, I had a lot of oats. I'd always have smoothies or oats porridge, and I'd just eat all of the right foods that is said to assist with breast milk production. So I could not fathom for the life of me why I wasn't getting enough milk. So of course, I did some reading. And some of the factors that I found that leads to a low supply of milk is if you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, if you suffer from high blood pressure, if it was a premature birth, if you did a cesarean, and if you have any thyroid issues at all, this may affect your milk supply, right? And trust me, a lot of women experience this issue, not having anything sometimes to do with any of those factors that I listed before. Sometimes it's just a case where, in my instance, where the baby didn't take to the breast initially, and because she started taking onto the breast late, the supply is low. So breast milk works is a demand and supply thing where breast milk is concerned. So if the baby is not feeding from the breast, what is going to happen is that your milk production will lessen. You'll see you'll have less milk to supply the baby with. So what a lot of people will encourage you to do is to pump your breast in between feeds to increase the supply of milk. I've tried that for myself and it doesn't work. I get like 10 milliliters or less each time. I'm different from you and we're different from everybody else. So what works for me may not work for you. And if it doesn't work for me, it doesn't mean that it will not work for you. So by all means, go ahead and try if you're one of those persons who are not producing a lot of breast milk. So I remember I was speaking to a friend of mine and he said to me that his partner didn't produce any breast milk at all. And I was surprised, I was shocked. So I did some reading and I found out that one of the things that can lead to that is IGT, which is insufficient glandular tissue. So the glandular tissue is the tissue in the breast that is responsible for breast milk production. And the size of the breast, very important to note that the size of the breast has nothing to do with how much milk you produce. It don't matter if your breast big, small, or is just a nipple, as some people would say. It doesn't matter. If you don't have enough glandular tissue, you will not produce a lot of milk, and in some instances, you won't produce any milk at all. Now, if you fall in any of these categories where your breast milk supply is low, or you're not producing any milk at all, or the baby not taking onto the breast, whatever the issue is, rest assured you are not alone. Many women go through the same problem. Don't feel alienated, don't feel like you're different or you're strange or any of these things. I know that wanting to breastfeed and wanting what is best for your baby and being a new mommy, all of this it can be daunting sometimes, and not getting something right can lead to you becoming anxious and feeling like you're failing. But you are not. You are not alone. And once the baby is healthy and happy and is taking formula, in my opinion, that is good enough. Once the baby healthy, happy, and feeding, it is good enough. Yes, I hope that the information that I provided today in this video is helpful. And just go ahead and tell me how it's been for you. Did your baby take onto the breast instantly? What was your journey like? Did you find breastfeeding to be a breeze? did you have a baby like my baby that just was in two minds? Let me know your story. Let me know what you think about this video as well. Please do go ahead and place your comments down below and let me just let me know what you think. Please guys, do continue to like, share, and comment on these videos. And if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you're made aware whenever any new videos are posted. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!